our California Sea Lion exhibit, which is the center of the Galapagos exhibit that opened a little earlier this year. How many of you guys have been through the whole Galapagos exhibit already? Yeah, quite a few. Did you guys like it?
Yes.
Yeah, pretty cool, isn't it? Those of you that haven't, be sure to do that after we finish with our keeper chat. So I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about the new exhibit and the sea lion colony we have here at the Houston Zoo. And then we have our keepers are going to come out and they're going to be working with a couple of our sea lions. So you get a chance to learn more about how we interact with the sea lions and learn more about a couple of our sea lions in general. A lot of you guys I know are not new to the Houston Zoo, so you probably remember the old sea lion exhibit we had. And there are a couple things that are very similar about that old exhibit and this new one here. That is Calypso there. We'll talk about her in just a minute there. Both the exhibits are saltwater. And of course, you know, sea lions live in the ocean. That's saltwater. And they've adapted to live in that salty environment. And in fact, they really need salt water for things like their mucous membranes to function properly. Another thing that was similar is both the old and the new exhibit have big chillers on them to cool the water. I don't have to tell you guys that it's been kind of a hot summer here. The Gulf of Mexico's water got up into the mid-80s, which is crazy even for the Gulf of Mexico. But if you've ever been to the Pacific Ocean, you know, it's a lot colder. It's more like in the 60s. And so we chill the water so that the exhibit water is about 65 degrees, which is very comfortable for our sea lions. Now, there are some things that are different about this new sea lion habitat. The most obvious thing is it's a lot bigger. It's about 4 times the volume of the old one. And so the sea lions have a lot more space to swim around in and explore. Another thing that's different, and this is a little, maybe not quite as obvious, is you notice that the water is a little ripply or wavy on the surface. That's because this new exhibit has a wave generator in it. So we're actually making little waves to make the water, again, a little more natural for our sea lions. Now, any of you that, you know, may have been fortunate enough to go to the Galapagos, or, you know, a lot of you have probably seen pictures, nature shows about it. Those islands were formed from volcanoes, and so they're a very jaggedy, rocky kind of environment. And the Pacific coast is also a very rocky type coastline. It's a lot different than the Gulf of Mexico, say. To right here, on the left, that is Maggie. And Maggie's going to be working with Ariel, who I mentioned came from California, is 21 years old. In the middle there, and Michelle was working with Calypso. Hi, Calypso. Calypso's 20 years old, and she's a very special sea lion. There's a algae in the ocean that makes a poisonous neurotoxin, and it can get into the food chain. And Calypso's mom got into some of this and had it. And she passed some of it on to Calypso while she was pregnant with her. And so Calypso was actually born a month early, and her mom didn't make it, and that's why she's a rescue animal there. She's the longest living sea lion that's what we know of that has this neurotoxin. Another thing that's kind of cute about Calypso there, if you look, you know, you guys might call them whiskers. The official name is Vibrissera that sea lions have. Calypsos are exceptionally long if you look at them. They wrap all the way around her jaw there. Okay, and finally, over here on the right is our keeper, Emily, and she's working with our young female sea lion, TJ. Hey! And like I mentioned, TJ is Camilla's daughter, and she's 7 years old, and she was born right here at the Houston Zoo on that. So, you know, we do a lot of work with our sea lions with training, and you're going to see as we go through here, sea lions are really smart. And so here at the Houston Zoo, we have 2 types of behaviors that we train. We call them husbandry behaviors and presentation behaviors. Now, husbandry behaviors is anything we do to help us take better care of our sea lions. Sometimes it's really simple there. You got Michelle has Calypso just lying very still, so she can kind of look at her. Also, she's rubbing something over Calypso. You're probably wondering what is going on there. Well, you know, one of the things that we did with Callie and Camilla when they were pregnant is they got prenatal care. And so periodically our vets would come out with a portable sonogram machine, and sea lions would roll over, they'd run the sonogram over it, get a picture of the growing fetus, just like we do with human moms. And that's what kind of Michelle was doing there, you know, kind of a simulated one, kind of getting Calypso used to having something, you know, rubbing over her tummy on that. Yeah. So as a result of prenatal care that Callie and Camilla had, both TJ and her half brother Max, they're both very healthy, very smart young sea lions on that. You also notice another thing, Emily's got a water bottle there that she's using, and a lot of our sea lions, can drink water out of a water bottle. You're probably wondering, why are we doing that? Well, again, sea lions live in salt water. Salt water is not a great way to hydrate. Sea lions get most of their water from fish that they eat. But we also do things like, if they need more hydration, we give them things like Jello, which is mostly water. And some of our sea lions have learned to actually drink fresh water out of a water bottle, just like you're doing on these hot days on that. Now, okay, so there's a couple things. Another thing you may see every now and then are keepers looking into our sea lions' mouths, checking out their teeth. Unlike humans, sea lions only get one set of teeth their entire life, so we've got to keep them in good shape, and we actually brush our sea lions' teeth. Any of you guys with dogs at home brush their teeth? Yeah. They make a special toothpaste for dogs, and we sometimes use that with our sea lions on that. So those are all good examples of husbandry type behaviors. And let's see, I'm going to ask, hey Emily, did I already miss the drops? I did. Oh, shame on me. You probably saw Emily earlier was putting drops in TJ's eyes, and some of our sea lions get eye drops. That helps them. Yeah, Calypso wants us to remind you that, all of our sea lions, they end up getting some kind of drops in it too. Now finally, our sea lions periodically need to get shots, like vaccines. So you guys all like going to the doctor to get shots, right? Yay, shots. Not so much, huh? All right, well, with our sea lions, they're trained, so when it's time, the vets will come out with their hypodermic needles. We'll bring the sea lions up, they'll present their hindquarters. In goes the needle, done deal. And just like your child may get a special treat from the doctor for being very brave at getting a shot, with our sea lions, of course, their special treat is a bunch of yummy fish. So those are all good examples of husbandry behaviors that we do, and it's very important to help us take good care of our sea lions. When you guys go around the zoo today, you're likely to see other animals that are undergoing some kind of husbandry behaviors here at the Houston Zoo. All right.